Now we are given this piecewise defined function where the function is defined by the expression 2x minus 1, giving us a linear graph. If x is between -4 and 2, and of course at -4 we follow this definition, and at 2 we follow the definition in the second row. So before graphing the function, let's note some values at some key points. So say at starting at -4, if we compute the value at -4, what we get is that it's 2 times -4 minus 1, that will be -8 minus 1, that is a 9. And then let's see what the value is at x equals 1. So at x equals 1, the value would be 2 times 1 minus 1, that is 1. And then when we go for f2, how much is f2? f2 is 5. And notice this here, that is, I mean, even if you look at this, if you substitute x equals 2 in here, this line would be giving us a value of 3 on the left of 2. So we know this, that we are going to have a discontinuity, and we shall see it when we graph the function. So let's hold on to that. And then here we are going for x greater than 2. So why don't we write it at, say, f at say positive 3. Okay, so when x is 3, what y becomes? Y becomes a 0. And then say, let's take one more value. When f is 4, y becomes -4 plus 3 equals -1. So what we will do is we will take these values and use these to graph this function and get some other information about the function. Okay. So let us graph the line. So you can see that f at -4 is -9. And f at 1 is 2. So if we graph this line, so let's go ahead and wait a minute, because the y-intercept is not matching here, because if x is 0, it should be -1. So we should be crossing here. So what did I mess up? F -4 is -9, that's correct. And here I think I have made a mistake. All right, that this is incorrect, because when x is 1, this value should have been 1, right? So I apologize for the mistake. Okay, so this comes down here, and when we make the line, I'm sorry about the mistake, okay, then yes, this is, this is how it's proceeding now. And then at 2, we have a change in definition. That is, the function becomes how much at 2? The function will become, one moment please. The function is going to become, as we saw by definition, f2 is 5. So what we do in such a case is this, that at the end here we have a discontinuity. We'll just put an open circle here just to show this point of discontinuity here. And then for the other portion, we see that f at 3 is 0, right? And f at 4 is -1, right about here. Okay, so then when we draw this point, again, we shall see a discontinuity, in this case here around 2. So we will, and this is a straight line, and pardon my drawing. Okay, so this we will indicate an open circle here as well. And what happens is, so this is a complete graph, like we will see that it starts at at -4 here. So now you can see this here, first of all, that the way the function is defined, the domain is starting x -4 and going all the way to the right hand side. Okay, it just keeps on going in this manner. So what happens is that the domain of this function is this interval is starting at -4 going all the way to infinity. So this is the domain, and when we go for range, what we notice that we have this y value of 5 included in the range, and then notice this, that all the values here, what this point would be, see, this corresponds to x value of 2 for this line. So this point would be the x value is 2 and the y value would be how much? 2 times 2 is 4, minus 1 is 3. So excluding 3, look, see, every y value is being attained by this function, you know, for this much here, and then afterwards this line will keep on going down forever. So for the range of y values, let me change the color a little bit. What we can take is that all the y values below 3, okay, of course, excluding 3, right? So below 3 will be in the range, or in other words, 3 is not included in the range, right? So all the y values below 3 are in the range, and the value 5 is in the range as well. So how are we going to write? So first we notice this, that all these values, that is y values of 3 and below, may be expressed as this interval negative infinity to 5. Now this value, just a moment, I made a mistake. It should be negative infinity to 3. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so that's negative infinity to 3. So we can write it again, or just let's leave it. I mean, you guys are mature enough to identify this. Then I'm putting a union sign, because now I have to accommodate this y values. There is a single y value of 5. So what I would do is I will write that as a set. Okay, so what you have is this open interval, negative infinity, 3, and then union 5. I just rewrote the same thing because I had made a mistake here. All right, so this is what? This is the range. I better type now. Okay, so this is the range of this function. All right.